there, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Dilly, and I'm here to talk about reading. So reading is harder than math when it comes to really anything, when it comes to planning and things like that, because math is like just nice and neat, and it fits in these little boxes. It's almost like eating like a waffle, right? Like you know right where to cut it, and it's really simple to do. But reading is more like a bowl of spaghetti. Like everything's just sort of layered on top of each other, and it's just a lot more difficult to figure out. And so kind of keep that in mind. If you're in reading and you're like, this kind of feels like a muddled mess, like, yeah, that's reading instruction. That's just, it is kind of a muddled mess. It's more, I always say it's more ineffable than math. Math is so finite and definite, and reading is just sort of ineffable. So there you go. So this is how this is going to work. We are going to work exclusively out of Google Classroom. So I'm not going to be emailing you every day with like this big long list of lessons. You'll just log into the Google Classroom reading, which you're already in, and you will be able to do your lessons. The lessons are going to populate one day at a time. For those of you who are in my math class, those lessons populate all at once so that you can work ahead if you want to. Reading populates one day at a time because I kind of want to keep you all together. If you get behind, then you'll just have to catch up that way instead of being able to work ahead. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to log into Google Classroom, and you are going to have to read your stories on the computer. If you have a printer, you want to print them out, that's fine. I have attached them in every single lesson. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is there are some times where we have you work on like slides. Like you can see these are slides over here. What you're going to want to do to make that easier, because it will actually start off looking like this. You see how tiny that is and awful, and it's just like makes me want to cry. If you just go to this little magnifying glass right here, and I've linked this every time I use these, but it's 100%, and then you can just write in the boxes now. So that's actually pretty cool. Should make it easier for you to use. So you'll have to read, and then you'll have a little activity to do every day. Sometimes it's a Google form, sometimes it's a Google slide. And then you'll have a quiz every couple of days. I have included in my big email that I'm sending to you and your grown-ups, these are the reading plans, and this is just like a cute printable thing that you could, if you wanted to, you could print off, and then you could, my dogs are gonna bark. Hey, that's enough. Somebody's at the door. I don't know who it is. Everything's fine. This is great timing, guys. So is everything okay?
Yeah.
Is it a package? E-learning. All right. Anyway, so you've got this. You could print it off. You could check it off. You don't have to print it off, but that's an option if you wanted to. Oh, it's cupcakes. Oh my goodness. That is so kind. Okay, so I think I said everything I wanted to say in this video. Reading is also going to be broken up a little bit differently too. The first 3 days you're reading a story called The Snake That's Eating Florida. Again, it's linked every single time you'll have access to the story. The next 3 days you're going to be reading a storywork story called Out of the Burning Darkness. There's my husband with some cupcakes. And then the last 4 days you're going to be reading a story called Germs. The Germ story is a little bit different because it is not going to have something that populates every day. It is one of those where I've given you one assignment because it's on Google Slides, and you'll be able to either do those one day at a time, or you can get them done all at once. It doesn't really matter to me. However you want to do it is fine. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have for you for reading. Thanks. I love you. Bye.